Hello and welcome to the RM Show. I'm Ricky, your host, and we're here with Luke and Tom. How are you guys?
I'm good, thank you.
A joint answer, I like it.
Organised.
How's your cough, Luke?
Yeah, there, mate. I'll try and mute as best as I can.
Terrible. How are you, Thomas? Looking forward to your trip away?
I'm well, thank you, Ricky. Yes, looking forward to it. Should be good.
Tom's going off to Salt Lake. He's part of the Winter Olympics. And
Part of the what?
Winter Olympics.
Yes.
And in February.
Fox 80.
You got some rubbish on your wall as well, Tom. You need to give that a clean.
Yeah. Someone had to represent, apparently, because none of the players do. So Tom's got a badge on his wall. All right, and guys, like I say, it's been like 4 or 5 weeks, I think, since we did the first video. So obviously a lot's happened since then. Start off with, Mr. Romelu Lukaku then. Thomas, what do you think, mate, of the video that came out about Rom saying that, he could have gone to City, would have stayed at Inter, and like Chelsea was like his 100th choice or something?
Yeah, it was interesting when the news broke. It was quite an open story, wasn't it? It was put everything on the line, and it doesn't sound like he's happy at Chelsea, does it really? I don't think he's happy with how the team works. And he came, beginning of the season, and he started scoring a few goals, and we thought, yeah, he's going to be what Chelsea needed, but soon fizzled out. So yeah, quite surprising that he had the opportunity to go to City. I think City did need a striker then. But yeah, obviously went to Inter Milan, and then he came back to Chelsea. So yeah, interesting to see the next few weeks. He can play himself back into the team. Still a great player, but I think morale for him is down below.
Obviously, Luke, he came out when he first came to Chelsea, though, saying "I've come home" and all of the drama that comes with that. So, do you think the Chelsea fans will forgive him? Is there a case of score us goals and then all will be okay?
I think that's it, mate. If he starts scoring again, they'll forget pretty quick. But he's not had the best season so far. I know he had injuries and things, but obviously all this comes out on top. It's just gonna pee you off, isn't it, as a Chelsea fan? I don't really know what he's complaining about, to be honest. I mean, he had a different role at Inter. He was the main man. I think he was probably one of the best players in the team. Maybe now at Chelsea, he's realised, these are a European winning team. He's not the main man anymore. Even though they do need him, because strikers-wise, they haven't really got anyone who can do what he does. But yeah, just watch this space, I suppose. See how many apologies he comes out with.
Yeah, well, that's it. They apparently didn't he? Apologise to the fans, said I'll earn your trust back and stuff like that. But I remember I think it was Gary Neville was saying that it was the Man United Lukaku he's seen at Chelsea, not the Inter Milan one. Tom.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like I said, I think we all thought when he came in that he was going to be the guy to lead them to the Premier League, because they had everything else there, team-wise, good defence, good midfielders, good young players, and obviously they won the Champions League. But yeah, hasn't quite worked so far. But hopefully, like you say, get over these injuries and stuff, because undoubtedly he's a different player for Belgium. And like you say, when he's had them roles, at smaller clubs, not that Inter Milan is a small club, but West Brom's, the Evertons, the other teams, he's always done well, hasn't he? So yeah, have to see. I know I thought that he would be the reason they were champions this year, which is obviously now laughable. But yeah, we're gonna have to see. But yeah, I thought bring that up because obviously that happened, around Christmas time, but we hadn't had a video then, so see where Lukaku goes. Tom, obviously, also since we had our first video, King Ralph has come in at Old Trafford. What have you thought of the first few games under the German?
What's changed? It's I think it boils down to it's not the managers, it's the players, and I think there's a lot of players in there which have given up. I think so. Whatever manager you do have in there, it's not going to change anything. So yeah, hopefully we get some players and move some players around, I think, and change team format. But a lot of the players in our team have just given up. So Yeah, whoever you bring in, it's going to happen anyway. So you need to get rid of the players first and go from there. Last night's performance I watched, it was shocking. Even though we won 1-0, I felt like we could have easily lost that 3-4-0. Amount of chances they had, the way Aston Villa played. Yeah, I was quite surprised that we hung on to it and got the victory. But yeah, it was a terrible performance.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember you were saying last night about that and how he's doing. What do you think, Luke? Obviously, Tom mentions the players. You know, one who's been singled out really, Marcus Rashford, seems to have been singled out by the press, especially. What do you think's going on? Why are these players who obviously, for a lot of time, were playing for Ollie and putting in decent performances? Why are they now just seem to down tools for two managers in a row?
I don't know. It looks like a character thing, doesn't it? The squad's built. It doesn't seem like a squad. Certainly not Manchester United of old. You know, you had your characters, you had your leaders drag you through it. They just seem, like Tom said, just sort of throwing their toys out the pram. It's not working here. I don't like it. I want to go somewhere else. A lot of people were saying Ollie built a good squad, and that's the one thing he did do, but I just don't see it personally. I don't see. There's no depth. They're very sort of one-dimensional. And then, you know, you've got superstars like Pogba and Ronaldo in your team. You'd think it'd be hard to be that bad, but it just doesn't work. So maybe Ollie was not necessarily the problem. Maybe the character of the team he put together, arguably, actually got him fired as well. Because you've seen some of the performances under Ollie were really good. They'd have spells. I think they had an unbeaten away record or something, broke a record like that. And
Yeah.
then on the flip side, they'd have performances like last night as well. So I don't know. It's a tough one without being in there, isn't it? But yeah, rebuilding again, that's another long project again, starting over again. It just keeps looping around until you find that sort of key man to take him forward. But Ralph is there interim anyway, so he's not going to be rebuilding himself. So whoever they find next, that's the key one. Their next manager. Get Roy Keane back.
Big Roy, you would want to see that. Yeah, but Tom, obviously, when you look on the flip side, though, they only lost that game to Wolves. You've won every other game, or obviously true in Newcastle, but you know they are the kings of the world. But yeah, you did all that. There's been talk of like Ruben Neves and players like that, but you know, watching the performances, especially in the games where you struggle, surely you need like a Declan Rice or someone who's going to come in there and steer the midfield, like we say, a Roy Keane did, and many others over the years, Carrick's, the Darren Fletchers, Phil Jones.
Yeah. I've said that a few seasons now. We've needed a defensive midfielder who can control the back, because that's what we haven't got. We haven't had for a few seasons. So yeah, we need someone like Declan Rice to sit in front of defence, because Harry Maguire and Lindelof are quite poor at the moment, especially Lindelof. I thought last night he played rubbish. Stick Phil Jones in, awesome game the other night. But yeah, it's defensive wise, I think we need to bulk up on rather than attacking wise. I think we've got enough attackers to get us the goals, as long as that playing better. But it's the back which is shaky at the moment.
True, mate. And what do you think, Luke, finally on Man United? Then obviously, there's a lot of talk. Obviously, Harry Maguire is the captain, but that seems to be an issue. You know, it doesn't seem like the players are listening to him. And, you know, when, like you've mentioned, the big players in the room, Pogba, the Ronaldos, are they going to listen to, some guy who got away with assault?
I don't think that's the reason. But the problem they've got is they don't have any leaders in there. Like, you might give it to Ronaldo, but he's a short-term player, really, isn't he? He's just sort of not the PR stunt, but he's going to be there for a year or two, maybe, and that's it. But who else do you give it to? McTominay, maybe. Don't know what he's like as a leader, but the rest of them, you could argue, not a chance. Rashford, arguably, things he does off the field, he obviously shows he's got this character and this ability to make things happen, but yeah, it's just they haven't got any leaders, no natural leaders, no cohesion, and then hence they don't listen to the manager. They're in trouble at the moment.
No, interested to see what happens with, like you say, obviously Ralph's only there till the summer, and interesting to see who's who's available, I suppose. I know a lot's been said about Poch, but will he be able to turn them players around? Don't know. He's very good at working with young players, really, isn't he? Rather than established, as he showed at PSG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big game on Saturday against Villa, so we'll soon see how well the team does. Because they got a few easier teams coming up now. So I say easy, Brentford and West Ham as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
What about your team then, Luke? I know they're floundering down in 9th place at the moment. Playoffs still there. Still think you're going to make that?
it's still the target, yeah, but at the moment, I mean, we're still in touching distance, so it's fine. But yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of postponements. There's going to be a big volume of games coming up. Just can't score goals. Just can't get past. We've got absolutely trashed by Sunderland 5-0, and then you go and lose 1-0 to Shrewsbury as well. So if the goals aren't coming, then we've got no chance. But we've lost Theo Cornebauer as well. He's on loan from Wolves because we're playing him out of position. So they've taken him back and put him in MK Dons. Says it all, doesn't it? Even externally, people are not really happy with what we're doing. So yeah, we'll see. Still a target, the playoffs, but to be honest, I'd be happy to just stop the rot of falling down the leagues at the moment. So mid-table, that'll be okay. Rebuild, go again.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So you keep a keen eye on it, Thomas, because you like to rib Luke when they do lose. So what do you think? You see him coming back up?
Yeah, I can't see them coming back up this season. I think they've been a bit hit and miss. They've lost the last 2-1 and drawn the previous 2. So yeah, I guess staying in this division, staying where they are for this season, and then rebuild next season probably. You may push maybe to the playoffs end of the season, see if you get on a good run, especially in League One. The games come thick and fast, and yeah, I can imagine staying where you are. Maybe push for playoffs, but our last 2 games, yeah, thumping from Sunderland, which is quite poor, really.
Top of the league, I suppose you can argue that, but
Second in the league actually. So.
the second now. Yeah. We did pretty well against the top teams normally, but obviously not that day.
Yeah.
All the bottom teams. Nobody basically. But we'll see. Like Tom said, get a bit of form in it, get a bit of a run going towards the end of the season, sneak in the playoffs, and then you never know.
What about you, Rick? Blackburn Rovers second in the championship.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Never thought you'd say that for a while, would you?
No, yeah, definitely. Wouldn't even think we'd be near. Like I said, mid-table, I thought this should, but yeah, not nervous as such because I still think it's too early to have them dreams. But yeah, obviously we've made Brereton a good player, and now he's the star man, and Armstrong's gone, and it's all about him. He's starting to bang the goals in. If we knew all we needed was to add Diaz on his name and he'd score 20 goals, I would have thought to do it years ago. But yeah, I think they're a good squad at the moment. I said it many times when we've had a chat. They're young, and they're just playing because they like playing football. And I think you see that on the likes of Lewis Travis and Rothwell and Dolan. Obviously Lenihan at the back now. He's not that young anymore, but he's done a good job for us. So yeah, I've got the players there. Like I say, it's important we keep them now in January, before the window ends, especially Brereton. But yeah, I think we can give it a try. I'm not saying we're going to go up because I think around this time usually we fall away. So being close to the playoffs for a few seasons up until Christmas. But yeah, definitely a stronger team this year to go on it. But yeah, I'm pleased with how we're playing at the moment. Just
do you think getting knocked out in the FA Cup will do you justice because less games to play now?
Well, yeah, the cup. This is what the problem is, isn't it? Usually a cup run's good for the lower teams. I look at like Newport did a couple of years ago and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're in the position we're in, then you don't want to be playing cup games as well because it's already tough enough for the like you said about League One with the Championship as well. It's a longer season, usually playing twice a week, and you don't need to be adding any other games, especially with, as you said, with COVID as well, with postponements. You don't want to be playing cup games as well on top of that. So I wasn't too bothered about it. Don't want to lose to a close rival, but Yeah, no, I don't really care. It wasn't something that bothered me. But yeah, just how we play against them, established clubs around us. If you think Fulham, Bournemouth, West Brom, all these teams who've had years in the Premier League. So the fact we're battling with them, albeit not the game against Fulham, which we all know what happened there, but as long as we're battling with them, I'll be happy. Yeah.
Tony Mowbray doing well, coming back.
Yeah, seeing as this time last year they all wanted to get him in the stomach. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's always the case with Blackburn, and what's happened the last 2-3 years is that no one's talking about the owners anymore. That's always a good thing, because we all know how they destroyed us at the start of the reign with Mr. Steve Keane. So yeah.
You think Diaz might get tempted to move away? I know there's been some gossip that potential people might be coming in for him, but
yeah.
Well, yeah, can't reject the money, can you?
No, the 20 million and stuff, they were talking about Leeds bidding and stuff like that. If they're going to offer us that money, then no, of course not. You can distribute that around the team to get other players, sign a good championship striker, or like I say, a League One striker who's banging them in, and see what happens, or bring a loan in from the Premier League, But no, I wouldn't want. I think if he went, we wouldn't go up, just because his goals, he's on 20. I think our next guy's on something like 6 or 7. So. Yeah, you can't afford to lose him, but at the same time, when you're in the championship and you've been there for a few seasons, getting them payments like the other teams, you've got to take the money when it comes, like we did with Armstrong at the start of the season.
Yeah,
probably depends who comes in, doesn't it? If it's Leeds, like they need strikers, right? Bamford out, they might want him in January, but a lot of other teams might just say end of the season, stay with you till then.
Yeah, or even we'll loan him back to the end of the season. Then I'd take that. Yeah, like I said, with Leeds, they need a striker, so it wouldn't better be beneficial for us for that. But one of the to be fair, I think Leeds is his level. I can't see any of the top teams wanting him. So I don't think we'd get him back, unfortunately. So that'd be the issue with it. But we'll have to see going forward. But yeah, who knows? Still early, still loads of games to play, but so far so good. Yeah, what do we think of the transfers that have happened so far then, guys? Obviously, probably the biggest name has probably been Coutinho into the Premier League, going to Villa on loan. Rumours he might start against United on the weekend, Tom. Liverpool man, putting you to the sword on the weekend, maybe? What do you think of the signing?
I think it's a great signing. Is he on loan, or is he on?
Yeah, I think it's a loan.
Could be a great signing. Yeah, he was good. Obviously, Liverpool. I don't think he really performed the last 2 seasons for Barca and was it Bayern Munich he was at as well. So yeah, see how he does, and see if he fits into the Villa team. Obviously, Gerrard's there, so that's the biggest influence for him. Is he'll know to get game time and sit in the centre midfield, but whether he can gel with the team, I guess we'll see after Saturday. Hopefully, he has a stinker and gets taken off. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think John McGinn's out, isn't he, for the game? So he can kind of fit in where he goes out, I suppose, with the creativity side of it. So, yeah, I think what do you think, Luke? He's obviously, like I say, he's really been great at Liverpool, and that's it. What I think of his career, he didn't have a great career at Inter Milan before Rodgers brought him in. But what do you think? If he's on his game, a great signing?
Yeah, that's it. We've seen what he can do. Obviously, he's not. All the top teams have come in for him, like Barcelona, and that hasn't really showed that he's up to that level. So maybe somewhere like Villa is good for him. Where, like I said, he knows the Premier League, he knows Gerrard. Maybe have that bit more of he's the top player in the team. Ball will come to him a lot more. I mean, you can't argue with it alone as well. I mean, obviously, don't know what the fees are and things like that, but yeah, great signing for Villa. And if that's the kind of thing they can attract in, then Gerrard is a great appointment just for that alone. Seems to be doing well as well. Good start of the season. So
he has done well. Yeah, they'll talk today as well of maybe Lukaku going there. I don't really get why we'd go from Everton to Villa, but be a great signing again. He's a good left back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's something to do with him not being happy at Everton. I'm not sure who else has come in for him, but again, maybe it's the Gerrard effect. he's a relatively recent retired player, so a lot of these players look up to him, don't they? They see it, you know, they remember the great player he is, so or was. So yeah, I mean, probably another good signing. You know, he's not a world class fullback, but probably an upgrade on what they've got. So yeah, could be interesting at Villa next season, especially. They'll look good.
Oh, it is good, and obviously our friend Knight he put into the group, but Adama Traore maybe going to Spurs. That the kind of guy they need, Tom. Someone just with pace who can energize what's really quite a slow, methodical team under Conte.
Yeah, they need something, don't they? They don't have anything in the field at the moment to connect with Kane, and like, obviously got Son, but yeah, they need some pace in the team. I think it'd be a decent signing for them. Yeah.
I don't think that one will happen.
Right wing back.
Yeah, well, that's where he'd play, right? You'd have to be wing back because Conte plays with wing backs. You can't see where he would fit anywhere else, really. And you know, Son and Kane, you know, they're not slow players. You've seen against Liverpool the way they counter-attack. They tore up that pitch. So yeah, personally, I don't think he's top 6 level. He just seems to have all the athleticism, but just no end product. Yeah, unless he's going to play fullback or wing back, even it's be a strange signing for Conte anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Nuno is
thing,
still
isn't
there.
it? He's still young, isn't he? So was he 23 maybe now? 23, 24? But
Might be a bit older than that.
I don't think so. I think he was young
No.
when he started at Villa, wasn't he? He was only about 18, I think. He came from Barcelona to Villa. But yeah, I don't know. I think he is a good player, undoubtedly, and he's quick, but he hasn't been starting for Wolves, has he? They've been starting with Trincao and Podence, so I don't know. I agree with you, Luke. When I've seen him, especially in the games against Manchester United this season, he's done loads of great work getting in behind the defence, and then he either miscues the cross or he falls over himself or something. So yeah, but Spurs need something because I know what you mean against Liverpool. They were fantastic in that game. It was a brilliant game of football. But I'm not sure whether that's the Liverpool effect because Chelsea were the same, Man City were the same. I think when you come up against a team like Liverpool, it was so quick, it's intense, pressure on the ball. I think you're always in for a good game. Whereas, watching them against Watford the other week, they were dreadful. So obviously different teams, different level. But yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for Victor Moses. Left him at Chelsea, left him at Milan.
Still time.
Yeah, back. But now, yeah. What about Newcastle then? Obviously, Kieran Trippier's gone there. We've had a big talk of 200 million being spent this January on Newcastle, keeping them up. Still only Trippier so far. Can you see anyone, big names? I know they've been linked to some under-20s French striker. But yeah, is it a case of they're not going to give Eddie Howe the funds to get them really big players? You might get players who, decent players, but hopefully just keep them in the league. So.
Yeah, it's a big ask, isn't it? Because they're like at the bottom of the tables as well. So people will see that and think, I don't fancy going into the championship because they look destined for the championship, and especially lose against Cheltenham on the weekend as well. And they had a pretty strong team out as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they bring in. I know they're linked with practically every single player that everyone else is linked with. So it'd be interesting to see who they get and where they get them to as well, whether strike force or midfield. Yeah, be interesting.
Luke, obviously, got a mate who's a Newcastle fan, and I think we can all say that they probably need a centre back. But with Callum Wilson as well being injured so regularly, do they need a number 9?
They need a whole new team, I think. But you don't know if it's paper talk, isn't it? Is it just rumours? Because if they are going for the likes of, so the rumours I've seen is Aaron Ramsey and Dele Alli, like they're not players that are going to get you out of relegation zone, are they? They're not the ones. They're glamour players, if you can even call them that anymore. They're just going to be big expenses with little return. So if they go for the younger ones, that's probably the best bet because there's a chance they could spark them, sort of, to fly up the league now, and if they don't, they're younger, apply the time in the championship, come up a better team, which I expect the owners didn't expect when they first came in. So yeah, they'll be linked with everybody, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, obviously there was talk of Aubameyang, wasn't there? You know, with the situation at Arsenal, maybe going there. He was gonna, again, short term will get you the goals, but do you really want that attitude at your club, I suppose? But then City did with Robinho, didn't they, when they first got money and players like that? So mercenaries from Brazil. So I don't know. It depends. Like I said, I think we all would agree that, you know, what Eddie Howe did at Bournemouth was brilliant, but you know, it's a different situation at Newcastle, different expectations. Say a 70,000 seat stadium, one club city. I don't know. I'm not sure whether they'll go down, Tom. I think maybe they'll sign enough to stay up, but you know, it's going to be very close to the wire. I think it's already out of the bottom four, probably, who goes down this season. So interesting, be interesting. But you know, think about it, a couple of years ago, they were all talking about the young players, the Longstaff brothers, and all. And where have they gone? You know, the one was linked to United, wasn't he? That Sean, like, you know, thought that was going to happen maybe 2 Januaries ago. So yeah, definitely need to improve on their youth if it's going to happen. As for the season, boys, what do you think then? Could see past City?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think
Possibly, but yeah, maybe Liverpool, Chelsea can catch them, but unlikely.
Yeah, I agree. I think City is won the last couple of games, haven't they? So they're on a good kind of rhythm as well. Without a striker as well, so shows you what they can do without one. I guess to kind of get stronger next season, they'll probably go for a striker, but at the moment, no, I can't see anybody stopping them really.
Yeah, interesting, wasn't it? Because obviously, like I say, they haven't had a striker, but Pep as well. You know, he sells all his young talent. But you know, he's seen Ferran Torres join Sané from last year, jumping ship. So I don't know. Apparently, Sterling's going to be signing a new contract as well. So obviously, that's all being repaired, whatever was going on there. But yeah, interesting. He just has that winning mentality like his players, doesn't he? That's what I
Great team morale as well, don't they? So maybe that Torres was giving a bad vibe, and I guess Pep wanted him out straight away, sort of thing. So yeah, he's
not afraid to do that. Seen on the Sky Sports earlier that apparently Salah, now away from the Liverpool camp, has said that he's not asking for a lot. It's up to Liverpool what happens. So I don't think that'll go down well with Klopp. Yeah, can you see him?
Probably fully deserved, though. Fully deserved, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Can't argue. Best player in the world at the moment, probably. So
18 months left on the contract, though. You know, Barcelona seem like they've got some kind of loan, which means they can sign players again now. Could we see Salah leaving Liverpool in 18 months?
It's too far to guess, isn't it, really? I think Liverpool's a good fit for him. Like, they always seem to be challenging thereabouts, so it's not like they're drifting away. But you never know, do you? He might just want a change of sort of club, new challenge. I don't see Barcelona as a real step up at the moment, but in 18 months, you never know, do you?
Yeah, I can see him going to like Real Madrid or Barcelona, a big team like that. That's kind of his last kind of club, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, your last big contract, your last club, your last name. He's the kind of player, though, that I don't think, a bit like Ronaldo and Messi, I don't think he's going to lose that pace anytime soon. So if he keeps that, he could easily play to late 30s at a top club, couldn't he? So,
yeah.
You know, that's the scary thing with Salah is, you know, even when his finishing is ridiculous at the moment, but yeah, that pace is just electric. African Cup Nations have started then. What do you think? If you had to pick anyone, who would it be to win it? I know Nigeria are playing Egypt today, so that should be a good game.
I haven't watched any of it, I'm afraid.
Me either, mate. I haven't got a clue.
Absolutely, nor have I. But I'll probably watch the Nigeria-Egypt game just because, you know, Nigeria was a good team and you've got Salah on the other side. But I think Senegal won yesterday, didn't they? Mane penalty. I think it's not really lit up the world yet, but Sky bought the rights, so See, something's going on there.
Yeah.
Away from football, then, Tom, you keep on sending it into the group. What do you think of Djokovic and the old COVID situation in Australia?
Yeah, is he still in the country? I'm not sure if he's been kicked out yet. I know they're still debating whether he should be there or not. Yeah, it's interesting. I know some tennis players have mentioned now saying that he shouldn't be there because he's not following the rules. So if you follow the rules, technically you should be there. You have to be double vaccinated to play. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing, isn't it?
What do you think, Luke? Obviously, on one hand, like you say, you've got vaccination status, and obviously everyone in Australia having to go down to the rules like everyone else in the world. But the other time, you've got the number one guy in tennis and the guy who's going to draw the fans to the court.
It means nothing, does it? I mean, at the end of the day, put a tennis tournament in context of a pandemic. Shouldn't matter. If the Aussie rules are that you've got to be double vaxxed, then simple as that. So I don't know why it's so complicated. I just don't see why they're making a big fuss.
Yeah.
You haven't got the right requirements to get into the country. Can't play a tournament in that country. He's a millionaire anyway. I'm pretty sure he's not after the prize money, so doesn't even matter.
It's all about the dominance, isn't it? I think, isn't he level with Federer and Nadal now on majors one? So he obviously probably just wants to get over that, especially because he probably fears that Rafa will win the French Runner shirt. But yeah, strange one. The lawyers came out and said it was because he had COVID in December, which is fine, but why can't he get a vaccination now? It doesn't make any sense, does it? So he's had COVID. So yeah, seems a bit weird to me, but we'll have to see. I don't know how long it is. Is it next weekend or something, maybe? I don't know, so we'll have to see if he does get his rights in there.
Yeah.
Right. You guys seen anything else that's caught your eye in the sporting world this week?
Nothing. Seen Benjamin Mendy, or was it Benjamin Mendy? The louder man. I can't remember which one it is. The Man City player was moved, wasn't he?
Benjamin Mendy. This is correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Just such a strange story to be sort of seeing all the time. But you know, obviously, it's not a good thing for Man City in general. You know, with the PR in that sense. But yeah, looks like it's moving into the limelight again, isn't it? It's been sort of hidden away for a while, and now it's come back. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, not a nice story, and obviously seems to be too much of it for it to be any kind of misunderstanding, doesn't it? So I think won't be long until he's sacked by City. To be honest, I think if you go that way, he can go join Fleetwood Town or wherever they send the ones that get away with it. Yeah, no, that's fair, mate. Yeah, it's a big trial obviously coming up, and I can't believe they bailed him for that many cases. Why would you do it? But I suppose with money and power come into it.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. All right then, guys. Well, thank you very much for being part of the show as always. To the viewers, I hope you've enjoyed our discussions, even with a Man United badge on show. And yeah, I'm sure boys will catch up. Maybe depending, catch up soon to have a chat. Maybe after the transfer window and we're a bit more further into the season. But thank you for being part of the show as always. Like I said, viewers, go onto YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you have your own YouTube channel. We would love that. Like and comment, and obviously view the podcast, and we hope you enjoy. But till next time, guys, thank you, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers, Rick.
Bye-bye.